There's desire in a streetcar, so let's review A Streetcar Named Desire. It's Adam here again with another quick instant movie review for you. So tonight we're reviewing the latest from NT Live. It's A Streetcar Named Desire, a play that was written by Tennessee Williams back in the 1940s. This particular version stars Gillian Anderson as Blanche Dubois, a former Southern belle who, after encountering a series of personal losses, leaves her once prosperous situation behind to move to a shabby apartment in New Orleans, rented by her younger sister Stella, in this particular version played by Vanessa Kirby, and brother-in-law Stanley, played in this version by Ben Foster. As Blanche's fragile world crumbles around her, she turns to her sister Stella for solace, but her downward spiral brings her face to face with the brutal and unforgiving Stanley. Ooh. This particular version was filmed at the Young Vic in London in 2014. Yes, it's taken 11 years for us to have an encore performance of this one. It was had an amazing run of from July through to September, and was directed by Benedict Andrews, the Australian director, actually. T Live is very interesting because they don't just stage things. They've always got something slightly different. And in this particular one, the stage rotates. So it's interesting. When I first started to watch this, I thought, oh, is this stage, are the cameras moving around or what's going on? And then I realized that it's the stage that's rotating. So it'd be a very interesting experience for the audience being a part of this, for sure. But if you don't know much about Streetcar Named Desire, as I mentioned, it was written by Tennessee Williams back in the 1940s, and it had its first production in 1947 on Broadway, and then it had an extremely successful film made back in 1951 starring Marlon Brando and Vivian Leigh. Stella! Of course you remember that one. First of all, I was surprised because I forgot when this was actually filmed, and Vanessa Kirby looks very young in this particular production, and Ben Foster is really beefy in this thing, and I was like, well, Vanessa Kirby looks so different, but it was like 11 years ago, so things have changed a little bit, but she was actually really great to a point, because I think the American accent for her was a bit muddy. It was kind of I heard her English accent slipping through so much, and I was trying to sort of piece together, is it a New Orleans accent? Is it that she's come from here to here, and is it different? Or I don't know, but it wasn't overly convincing to me, unfortunately. Her performance was really good, but the accent kind of kept getting to me. I was really annoyed. Ben Foster was, he is such an interesting actor. I've channeled his acting for many years across many films, and this is a really powerful performance from him, and really, really good. Gillian Anderson. Now, her performance is good, and it's a very unhinged type of character. I understand that. But her southern accent was driving me absolutely bonkers. It was just ear grating. I was sitting there watching this just going, oh, can you stop talking? And maybe that's a terrible thing to say, but I just found it to be really hard to get along with, and this is a 2.5 hour, 3 hour production, so you're not getting it in bite sizes, and especially when there's 3 main characters on the stage. It's not like she's just sort of coming and going. She's there all the time. So there wasn't a huge amount of reprieve at all. And look, kudos to these guys. This is a big script with some really emotional beats, and extremely well executed from the National Theatre Live point of view. The staging is really interesting, and it's very well done. And the emotional beats are there. Her performance is it's really hard, isn't it? Because her performance is really good if you take the accent out of the equation. I just found that to be extremely annoying. But, what she was saying and how she was emoting it was really great. But the accents in this, they're hard to get along with, to be honest with you. So I found that part quite challenging. But the play from the NT Live point of view is really well done. It must have been extremely hard to try and move your cameras around this space, not get in the way of the audience, not get in the way of the actors, work with this revolving set to try and make sure you're not missing any of those emotional beats. I mean, what a challenge, and really, really great. And what's interesting about this production as well is it uses lights and really heavy music between sections to really show a transition of time. It was quite interesting, I thought, and just the way that the actors then went and redressed the set. Like they were responsible for a lot of the heavy lifting on this one. So great performances except for the accents, really well staged, fascinating the way that they did it. Again, another great production by NT Live. If you love A Streetcar Named Desire and maybe you've seen the accent and you're okay with it and all the rest of it, then for sure you need to check this out. And I would probably give this 7 out of 10. It was outside of the accent, that's for staging, and for performances outside of the accent. I feel like I've said that too many times, like the entity in Mission Impossible. Okay. All right. That's it from me for tonight. Check out NT Live. Check out A Streetcar Named Desire. Really fantastic in regards to its staging. So yes, check it out. All right. That's it from me for tonight. What's your favorite version of Streetcar Named Desire? Have I noted it? Have I said it somewhere? Have you seen it? Did you love it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you have a problem with the accents? Comment below, let me know, and I look forward to speaking to you next time here in my car. Good night.